Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. The Honorable Mr. Hasan Halawi MPD as a lecturer of Semantic and Pragmatic. My name is Nabila Zahra. I would like to share my video review about the material on the title Maxim of Conversation. And before anything else, I will explain about cooperative principle. Cooperative principle underlying communication between listeners and speakers looking to try to understand and to provide personal information without being offensive in avoiding security problems. In order for the utterance to be accepted by interlocutors, speaker usually consider carefully the various pragmatic factors involved or possibly involved in a communication process. Wijana 2004 in page 54. Then, our next point is about maxims. Maxims in a manner help to explain how to communicate the social values of social principle of cooperative implicator. And we can infer indirectly from what is said to happen when the speaker pays attention to what's word actually happened. Grace 1975 in page 45 till 47 argues that reasonable discourse can occur if the speakers and listener comply with the principle of communication cooperation. The principle of cooperation consists of four conversational maxims, namely, the first is maxim of quality, the second is maxim of quantity, the third is maxim of relevance, and the fourth is maxim of manner. The first is quantity. Quantity are the quality of discussion where it refers to effective and adequately presented information and neither too little nor too much. In speech, each participant is required to contribute only the information needed and not to contribute more information than necessary. For the example, a reasonable speaker would choose utterance 1 over utterance 2. The first sentence. The blind man turned out to be a mason. The second one. The blind man turned out to be a mason. Utterance 1 is considered more effective than efficient and contains truth value. Everyone understands that blind people cannot see. Thus, the element of not being able to see in speech too is considered redundant. The presence of the element that cannot see in two or sentence two is considered to contradict the maxim of quantity because it only adds things that are already clear and do not need to be explained again. Alright, the next is about quality. Quality is about the level of reliance and the information being presented. The information presented should be both facts and truth that refer to the subject under consideration. This maxim requires each speech participant to contribute correct information. In other words, neither speakers nor speakers' partners said anything that is considered false, and every contribution to the conversation should be supported by adequate evidence. If in an utterance there are speech participants who do not have sufficient evidence, there may be certain underlying reasons. Consider the following utterance. Speaker A. How many cooperation maxims are there according to Chris? Speaker B. According to Chris' book that I read, there are 4 maxims in the principle of cooperation. Speaker A. What are those maxims? Speaker B. The maxim of quantity, the maxim of quality, the maxim of relevance, and the maxim of manner. In the example above, Speaker B contributes correct information that according to Chris' book, he read there are 4 maxims, namely the maxim of quantity, the maxim of quality, the maxim of relevance, and the maxim of manner. And the third is relation. A relation is where the information presented has the same relation to the topic of the conversation and presupposes the same subject. Consider to this following sentence. Speaker A. There's somebody at the door. Speaker B. I'm in the bed. The explanation: when Speaker A told to Speaker B that someone was coming to their door and expected Speaker B to open the door for the guest, Speaker B said that he was in the bathroom at the time. Speaker B's answer implies that he expects Speaker A to understand where Mr. B is that moment. So Speaker B cannot open the door and see who is coming at that moment. Thus, it can be said that the relationship between speech participants does not always lie in the meaning of the utterance, but it also lies in what the utterance implies. And the last is about manner. A manner is a manner that should be held by both a speaker and a listener, in which both must have a clear, orderly, unambiguous attitude, as seen in the dialogue taken from Parker, 1986 below. Speaker A. Let's stop and get something to eat. Speaker B. Okay, but now LCDONALDS. The explanation. The spelling in B's speech aims to make the child who loves MC Donald's does not realize that his parents do not want to eat at MCD. A speaker must interpret the words used by the interlocutor. It is ambiguous based on the context in which it is used. This is based on the principle that ambiguity will not arise if the cooperation between speech and participant is always based on careful observation of the pragmatic criteria. I think that's all from me. From this material, I get conclusion. If the maxims are not fulfilled, violating or floating occurs, maybe the communication will be bad. It's like something not to the point and being conversational implicator. I think enough here my speech. If you get some mistakes from me, pardon me. And the last I said, wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.